Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how to draft on DraftKings for daily fantasy sports. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So when you first jump into it, you'll see you have a bunch of different options here. What this is. First, look at your entry fee. So what do you feel like playing? And then do you want to go for total prize pool? Do you want a smaller prize pool where you have less people that you're betting against, like this one only has 2,300? Or do you want to go with one that has like 5 million at stake but there's a million people in it? So like if we look at this one, we'll see it's $1 million for first place, but there's a million people in it. So odds are pretty low. So what we're going to look at is this one for $150 entry. Big entry, little entry, right? It's great to play these, because you could potentially win it. But we're going to look at ones for maybe a little bit better odds here. So let's take a look at this. There's only 4,444 people in it, $600,000. Winner gets 100,000, second place gets 50. So you don't have to necessarily win the whole thing to get in there. If you're in the top 1,000 in this, which is about 20%, the top 20% win their money back, plus $75. So we'll go ahead and hit draft team here. And then it'll take us to the next page. And this will be the same regardless of whatever classic matchup you have. There are some other matches I will go over as well, but this is going to be the classic matchup where you pick different players from different games, just like you would in a regular fantasy football league. So let's go ahead here. We'll look at it. So with this, a lot of people do like using the strategy of quarterback, getting somebody cheap. So we'll go down here. We'll take a look. And this is the first week of the 2021 season. So we'll look at, let's say Mac Jones, because we know he's starting and his salary is really low. So $4,400. So we'll click add, and you'll see that our total budget over here just went down to $45,600. So if you remove Mac Jones again, you'll see we had $50,000 to start. We add him in there. He takes it off and shows the average amount of money that we can pay for each player. So you want to pay attention to that while you're doing it. For running backs, running backs are very important. So it is kind of hard to figure out, who you want to go on. Do you want to bet on somebody lower? Like, hey, you know what? Antonio Gibson seems like a good buy here for $5,900, but I also want to have a complete stud like Dalvin Cook, who could go off against the Cincinnati Bengals defense. So we'll add them in there. So I still have a $5,100 average, and I still have $30,000 to spend. Now, defenses are usually a little bit cheaper than the average. So with these, you can pretty much pick the ones that you want. You can really save big if you can get some sort of complete matchup with like $2,000. That would definitely save you. But for double the money, you could go with somebody a little bit more secure. We think the Patriots here could do well, so we'll add them in there. And you'll see our average went up a little bit, so it saved us a little bit of money there. So we'll go ahead to our wide receivers. We'll pick the ones we think is good. Actually, let's go to tight ends. So we'll try to save money on the tight end, or we could go all in. So let's say I want to go a little bit more all in with them. We'll pick Kittle. So now you see my average dropped for average player. Go to wide receiver now. So all we need is our 3 wide receivers and our flex. So we'll go ahead down here. Let's say Chase Claypool. We'll pick him. Pick Gage. And Junior. Okay, so now we have $4,500 for a flex, which really is not that much money. But if this is something where you're like, you know what, I really don't like my choices here. I see that I could do, let's say, Ty Johnson for $4,400, and I have $100 left. And it's like, you know what, I really don't like that bid. Let me take off somebody so I can put it somewhere else. So let's say I'm going to decrease my tight end here, and I'm going to take off that flex that I had. I'm going to go back to my tight end. I'm going to look for somebody a little bit cheaper than Kittle. And let's say I want to put Kyle Pitts in there. All right, now I have $6,400 for my flex spot. Okay, selection's a little bit better here. I can get someone like Terry McLaurin or James Robinson or even Harris. Now we'll go ahead and we'll try to see if McLaurin does really well. We'll add him in there. Now we have exactly $0 remaining. And then once you're done here, you can go ahead and hit the enter button, and then you can go ahead and enter the contest. Now, let's say you do the contest and it's before the kickoff, because obviously, as we can see here, the kickoff doesn't go for live in 60 hours. So if something happens in that 60 hours, like let's say Gage comes out and he pulls his hamstring or something happens, you can edit the roster up until the first game goes live. Or let's say he has played later game, you can take him out then. So you can always edit your roster if you need to before the game actually occurs. You guys, that's it for the video. If you guys like this video, please hit that like button. If you have any questions at all, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next huddle. Ready, break.